Hello there. Well, here we are, finally at the full moon meditation. I seem to have had some very interesting experiences with time lately, and really thought the full moon was on Saturday, like Friday to Saturday, rather than early hours of Sunday to Monday. So it's been quite interesting, feeling the energies which actually have just got stronger and stronger. So I am very interested just to hear your own experiences. And you may see, even though it's a really beautiful day out there, I'm feeling quite chilly. I've got warm things on because I'm actually really quite tired. And I think this is part of what's going on with this full moon, is really bringing up patterns that are so deep, systemic, family, ancestral, really full-on stuff that has been percolating for days. I started to feel it. Hey, Beatrice, probably Thursday, the night of Thursday. And I think I mentioned in the previous video I made about this, that the emotion, or the state of emotion that was coming up most for me was actually anxiety. It felt like I was really feeling the collective anxiety that is prevalent within our collective unconscious. And having just returned from Greece, being around my blood, if you like, my blood, basically, I'm 3/4 Greek, for those of you who don't know me. So my blood is Greek mainly. And I actually find it very challenging to be there, because I find that there is such intensity, such denseness and intensity. And, those of you who have experienced, hello, Louise, welcome. So anybody who's here, please do say hello. I'd love to know who's on. And hey, Hope, welcome. We're basically, it feels like there's a lot going on in terms of deep purging. And we are going to do something today that is going to really help that. I'm trying to move slow because it seems the internet is a little bit funky. But we are, if you have any problems, can you just let me know? I'm really on this. Hello, Jen. Welcome. So anyway, Greece, yes, lots of lessons in observing my personal family patterns, and then the collective patterns of the land. I'm teaching pregnancy yoga, fertility yoga there. This is really deep stuff for working with subconscious programming, clearing subconscious programming. And one thing I've really noticed, which will be part of our meditation today, is that as we learn to anchor our own energy frequencies, obviously we go through upgrades. I go through upgrades too, and I usually go through them a little bit before I support you through them. Recently, it feels like they've been coming thick and fast. So you may have heard me talk in the last couple of months about my physical boundary, my physical outline becoming much stronger as I've been making changes to my lifestyle and diet, just taking it to the next level. And my core line's been incredibly anchored. But what I've noticed has happened is my outer boundaries. If you think of the full moon and you imagine you're sitting in the middle of a full moon, that outer boundary has not been as strong. And now that the other two have strengthened, I really need to strengthen the outer boundary. So we're going to be working with all of the layers of our energy field today, particularly to support a clearing of surrendering, release, whatever patterns are really coming up. So that's the guidance I've been getting, is that whatever's going on in your life is really about this pattern. There's a systemic pattern that is coming up now, ready to be cleared on the deepest level. And you might have had this pattern in your life consciously for a really long time. It could be 10, 15 years, could be longer than that. Certainly it'll be inherited. And if you've been noticing you've been triggered by other people. I mean, for me, it's been family members. And I've then had to go, oh my goodness, I do that too. And it's so hidden from me because I have all of these ways of, projecting outwards. Like, we really have to be aware that when you are bringing more light into your being, one, you shine brighter, okay, so there's a responsibility that comes with that, but also it's easier to dazzle outward and not look inward. So this inner work, the reason we get together, we do these new moons, these full moon meditations, is really to get back on point, to reintegrate, to come back to center. I have felt so out of my center the last 10 days. I've just been in a really hectic, busy, crazy environment where patterns of dysfunction include, you know, trying to keep other people happy all the time and playing into their stories. And I don't like to do that. So I become this sort of stubborn, obstinate teenager going, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not playing the game. But there's been a lot of, there's a lot that comes with that. You feel your energy in relation to other people's energy, and that antagonism that goes on. So my fullest, deepest sympathy to anybody who has really been coming up against it hard and fast. What I have seen is that although it's incredibly uncomfortable to go into these places, once you take the lessons, once you just get on with the work rather than whinging and complaining and projecting about it, amazing things happen. And, you know, lots of people who are very busy people are very capable people, and we, I include myself, tend to say yes to a lot of things. And I think as the frequencies on this planet are changing, we're getting this opportunity to see that perhaps as we move more into self-care, we do need to be a little bit more aware that things change, because often what happens with, you know, very capable people is they are, we kind of become very hard and fast about not letting people down, about, you know, keeping to our word, being people of our word, all that kind of thing. And if we're not careful, we play into another ego game there, because actually things do change, things happen that mean that we can make commitments that then we need to review. And life is pretty flexible in that sense. Those hard and fast, those set in stones that we want to make us feel safe, aren't able to do that. It's an illusion. The safety comes from knowing that whatever happens, everything's going to be all right. Whatever happens, however things change, if you keep aligning your will with divine will, then you're always in the right place at the right time. Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's unpleasant, it's there for you to grow and learn from, and then you make conscious choices for the future. So, you know, always examine for your own sake, you know, why am I doing this? What is my intention behind this? And this will come into what we're doing. So if you've got your notebook, I just wanted to go through Tanaz's Forever Conscious musings on this full moon, because keeping a moon diary is really helpful to help you see what's going on during eclipses, new moons, full moons, how you're shifting through patterns. I was having quite a heated discussion earlier today about things looking like they haven't changed, but actually they have. Things are constantly changing, and insisting things haven't changed just keeps us locked further in places we don't want to be. If we allow ourselves into the possibility that things are changing, even if on the surface it doesn't look like they are, then we really do open the door to things shifting in ways where initially it might seem very subtle and almost impossible to tell, but later it gathers momentum. And I know that's been incredibly true for me in my personal story, so I offer that to you. Okay, so what we know about this full moon, so it's about, let's get to the very start, letting go. So this one's about letting go and cleansing away things that no longer serve us. And I asked you to think about what you were ready to cleanse and let go of. And, you know, as I said, initially I was thinking about qualities, but actually I've come to see it's about patterns. This full moon's about patterns. It's about drawing a whole pattern out of your consciousness. Yeah, the guidance coming in strongly. So drawing out the pattern that's in you that is an ancestral pattern, and remembering as well that our bodies, you know, these bodies are ancient, but our souls are eternal. So being able to clear the coding of this ancient body that carries the cellular memory of your genetic coding, you know, the bloodlines that you've brought in, as well as your soul memories. It's pretty full on. Hello, Susan. Lovely to see you, Sue. So, we know full moons are always about clearing things. But with this full moon, it's about deep transformation. So we want to allow the deep transformation so that we can awaken and be enlightened. So Scorpio is about unconditional love on the one hand, but on the other hand, it's about the ego and greed. And I loved this. Initially, I was like, okay, so when does love become conditional? Love becomes conditional when we're frightened of losing, when we step into lack consciousness, which is exactly when we step into our ego and when we start to be thinking, me first, there's not enough for everybody. So in surrendering the ego here, in opening to unconditional love, and this idea of thy will be done, thy being the higher self, the God self, the Christ self, however you want to see it, divine will, your divine design, all of this is about handing over to a higher power, that higher power being source, but through an aspect of you. So this is where the ego dies. This is where the surrender comes. So just asking you to reflect on, in your relationships, where does love become conditional? Is it when money's involved? Is it when property's involved? Is it when there's a need to be right? Do we prioritize right over happy? Is it about being pedantic? Is it about the small details? Is it about sweating the small stuff? When does it become conditional? And we know that the Scorpio energy will move wherever it needs to allow the shift that's needed. So the question really for you is, where do you most need to get to the root of something? Where is there a systemic issue in your life where peeling back the layers isn't really enough anymore? The purpose of peeling the layers back is to get to the root, rather than just to feel a little bit better for a little bit of time. We want to get to the root of it. Is this really healthy? Is this really good for me? This relationship, this choice I'm making in my life, this career path choice, is this really on a root level? Is it the right thing for me? Is it aligned with my highest intentions, with my divine design? And, when you ask questions like that, you will get answers, and they might not be answers you like, but that's how we separate the wheat from the chaff. That's how we have a big shift, which is what this full moon's about. So paying attention to new insights, thoughts or feelings that are emerging within you, very important. Introspection, the need to be separate from everyone. Oh my goodness. Have I wanted a bit of space? I can't have any space at the moment. It seems like even my house, bless the people that are with me at the moment, and they have been very gracious, but it's like at the moment there isn't a space. There is a bedroom to go into where I can be with myself, but it has really felt like the edges are coming in. And that's what I mean about this outer boundary. And, if you don't listen to your own no, you end up shouting no to someone else. I'm getting a lot of deja vus at the moment, which kind of reminds me of where I've been here and maybe made a different choice. So really pay attention to that. If you're feeling snappy, if you're feeling aggressive, if you're feeling on the attack, then you're feeling attacked. And, that's usually because you're not respecting a boundary of your own. You're not listening. For me, I've just overexerted myself. I've had a really exhausting time. And the space in between the work was not calming. It was not healing. And that's what I need. So recognizing that now, I will make different choices moving forward. I'm recognizing I need to make a different choice, particularly, for example, when I go to Greece. So lesson has been learned. So protecting your own energy field, incredibly important, being kind towards yourself and others. The big question, write it down in terms of unconditional love. What needs to die for me to experience this unconditional love that is within me? What needs to die? What do I need to let go of in my life in order to feel the unconditional love that resides within me? Well, when I asked that question, I just started to feel anxiety. I was feeling it in my sleep. I was feeling it in my day-to-day life. My thymus gland was just on fire. And I was like, okay, so letting go of anxiety and fear, these are projections of what ifs. If we're not careful, we can totally live our lives in what ifs, and we rob ourselves of this powerful moment, this now moment. So the world is living in a load of what ifs. You know, every movie you watch is a potential what if. Are you watching things that make you feel inspired and happy, or are they terrifying you and making you stressed and angry? Like, why do you do that to yourself? It's not really entertainment. It's called lowering your vibration, which lowers the collective vibration. Please stop. Please. Okay, so pattern release, we've said we're going to follow the thread to our eternal selves and anchor this today. Feeling this love about you is really, really important. Feeling your essence, your true power. We want to connect with our forever you. That's the eternal part of you that is unconditional. And we need to welcome all the little deaths, which reminds me of orgasms. In French, they're called petit morts, I think. So little deaths. Every time we have an orgasm, there's a little death. So we can look at death in a slightly different way and say, let's awaken our life. Let's accept that everything is a cycle. So rather than focusing on the fear of loss, on, you know, sometimes we fear having just because of fearing losing what we have, but we're constantly having new experiences and things have to die to allow that. So why not shift your focus to all the new things that are happening to allow for these little deaths? You know, there's a joy in surrender if we awaken to it. Just some thoughts to go with. Okay, so we're going to be given the opportunity to feel who we really are and what we have come to this earth to achieve. When you clear all of this subconscious soup, that's what you get to. What are you here for? What's your joy? But with this new awareness, we really do need to start clearing, releasing and letting go of what is blocking us from finding and feeling our truth. So what is your truth? I know for me personally, my truth has been I want something that I feel I can't have. And as a result of that, I've been trying to change the story rather than just to sit in the discomfort of wanting something I seem I can't have. It looks like on the surface I can't have. Remembering again, it's a fear, false evidence appearing real, or false emotions appearing real. So what are you learning about yourself? What discomfort have you needed to step into? Have you needed to allow yourself to go into, to move through? Usually it's things we know we do that aren't in alignment with who we want to be, things that we do, think, say, experience that don't feel like they're congruent with what we stand for. And, you know, if we're honest, it's something that we all have to really be aware will come about, just like the clouds in the sky. They're not the truth, but things happen. So accepting the light and the dark is very important in self-love. So I've asked the question, what needs to be surrendered and what needs to be accepted in your life? What do you need to surrender? You know, it might be a person. It might be a thought form. It might be a job. It might be, you know, it could be anything. What do you need to surrender? And what do you need to accept? And I think one thing I'd invite you to do is to accept your imperfections, to accept your fallibility, to accept the inconsistencies that make up you, and love yourself anyway, because we're all like that. We know, we say it about people, oh, you know what she's like, you know what he's like, he'll say this, but he'll do this. Like, we just accept other people so much more easily than we accept ourselves. So I'm inviting you to give yourself the same treatment in terms of acceptance as you do others. Whatever's been bubbling underneath the surface needs to come up. This is a time to allow the skeletons in your closet to come all the way out. But you know what? This isn't about going out there to everyone else and saying, here are all the skeletons in my closet. Love me, please. It's about you seeing the skeletons in your closet, not bullshitting yourself about what is there, and loving yourself through it anyway. If you can do that, you will find that others are a lot more accepting and appreciative of you in all of your glory. Okay? There is always a lot of work to do. Whatever you clear, there is going to be more to clear. Okay? But there is a joy to peeling back these layers. There is a joy to getting into a deeper sense of yourself, of being able to accept yourself more deeply, of seeing the progress you go through. You've come to this planet to learn certain lessons. Your soul chose to evolve. It chose the circumstances that it's experiencing now, partly through free will, but also free will is how we deal with what's in front of us, but there are things there that are put in front of us by our own soul's higher consciousness to help us to trigger certain lessons. And as part of your soul maturing, you have to learn a lesson from both sides. So we've said this before, you know, the persecutor becomes the persecuted before one can have a full understanding of persecution. So we experience both. So whatever you're experiencing in your life right now, you can come to a place of understanding that actually perhaps you have experienced the entire opposite of this, and now you're experiencing this in order to be able to bring greater understanding. In my life, I definitely find myself playing opposing roles. I'll play the one role in one relationship and I'll play the opposite role in another relationship, just to understand more about myself, what I need and what those around me need as well, that they're not getting because of the surface patterns that are getting played out. Those are just us being puppeted along, you know, we're puppets on a string till we choose something else. We're nearly there, folks. So loving is the key here, all right? Loving yourself even though you've been hurt, loving even though you've lost, loving though even though we've witnessed terrible, terrible things, even though we can walk around. I mean, I was walking around thinking human beings are weird. I really felt like an alien or an extraterrestrial or a starseed. And, you know, there's been a lot of stuff coming up. So being able to love through it is the most powerful thing a human being can do, and it is the deepest purpose for all of us. That's where unconditional love is to go, all right, yeah, and this is as it is, and I love anyway. So we get this opportunity now to allow ourselves to be touched wherever we need to be touched in order to grow, and for you to awaken, it needs to awaken within you, whatever needs to awaken. So I have this question to ask you. If it says the energy of the Scorpio full moon runs so deep and will touch you wherever it needs to touch you and awaken you wherever it needs to awaken you, all you need to do is remember to surrender, accept, and just keep on loving in whatever way feels right to you. Love yourself, love one another, just never stop finding ways to spread love. For love is what you are and the world needs more of you. This is it. Thanks, Tanaz. That's it. We are all love. We are all love under it all. Under all the ways we try to push and the ways that we try to pull, we are all love. Hey, Melissa. Welcome, welcome. So, write this down. Who do you need to forgive? And include yourself there, please. Who do you need to forgive? What do you need to accept? And who do you need to accept? Usually you. How can I surrender? How can you surrender in whatever situation in your life? How can you surrender? How can you surrender your ego? So how can you surrender your fears? How can you surrender without giving your power away? What do you need to surrender to? It goes along with the acceptance. You know, what do you need to accept? And as a result of that, what do you need to surrender? And usually it's that things have to work out a certain way, and that you need to be right. You know, these are just key things that will get you out of your ego state. And where can I show gratitude and appreciation? Where can I show gratitude? Where can I show appreciation? When can I show gratitude? And when can I show appreciation? Again, it's this seeing through eyes of love, loving what you see. You know, what am I learning here is even if this is incredibly uncomfortable, how can I appreciate this situation for what it's teaching me? How can I appreciate, you know, I had to get really fed up with people's patterns around me before I could actually see that that very same pattern was one that I was fulfilling in my own life without even realizing it. And you know how much work I do on myself. So, you know, you've got to have patience. You've got to have a sense of humor. You've got to laugh. You've got to slap your own thigh and go, oh, there we go. So that's kind of like the chatter. I think what we're going to do now is go into the meditation. I hope you find this bit useful when I go through those notes, because I think the more you can build an inner dialogue with yourself and really ask these questions, the more you can connect the dots so that you can move through experiences. So we're going to play a little bit with the full moon ritual that Tanaz also offers as part of her Forever Conscious website. I really love her work, I have to say. I have made contact with her, not heard from her yet. But I think for us, it really anchors what we're here to do. So if you've got your crystal handy, you've got your cacao. I've had so much cacao recently that I'm just drinking a cleansing tea. But we will invite the cacao diva in. So let's see, I need my masculine and my feminine crystals. So let's cleanse our crystals. It'll be about half hour, okay, in this meditation co-creation. And it's going to be a powerful one, as I said. So we've got some anchoring the eternal thread, pattern release, and just intending a really, really deep and full healing. So I will post the Scorpio full moon ritual. It does involve cleansing your house. So you can do that with essential oils. You can do that particularly with frankincense. So doTERRA's frankincense is amazing. Or you can do it with sage as well. But I do suggest if you're going to cleanse your house, you also have a bath. I'm just reminding you that, detoxing is more than just physical. We need to do physical, emotional, and psychological detoxing. Just doing one without the other is never going to be fully where we need it to be. Okay, so I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. But anyone who is interested in booking in with me, I am fully booked up for this month. So taking breakthrough calls will be for next month. And for coaching work starting next month. So just letting you know to definitely take advantage when these offers do come up, because they're getting, challenging to offer them as things get busier, which is great on the one hand, but not so great on the other. As we go, we accept. All right, so let's get going. If you've got your crystal, then please sit up straight, bring your feet to the earth. I hope some of you are outside and enjoying the sun. And then when you're ready, holding on to your crystals, just taking a few deep breaths and allowing yourself to come fully into your own body, into your own energy field, just becoming really aware of pulling yourself back from every relationship, every situation in your life. And just saying to yourself quickly, I am all that is. I am that I am. I am the one self I am. I release everyone and everything. I am that I am. All right, so just feeling that. I think we'll activate our I am presence first, and then we'll get into cleansing the crystals. So if you want to just again become aware of your physical body and this core line that connects you to the source of all that is. So just move your awareness up through the crown of your head, up through the sun, up through the center of our galaxy, the center of our universe, all the way up and out to whatever you perceive to be the center of the multiverse, where the original source of all that is resides. And it's like this huge, huge, huge body of light that glistens and shines and shimmers. And even if you can't hear the sound, you can feel the sound that it emits. Allowing your breath to deepen by lengthening your out breath and deepening your in breath. Lengthening your out breath. And deepening your in breath. And now noticing that as you breathe in, you're drawing the light of source down through our universe, our galaxy, our solar system, through our sun, through your soul chakra, through your crown, all the way down through your body. Send it down through your heart, and then down through your energetic womb, whatever gender you do or don't associate with, just knowing you have a hara, an energy center, which is a creative center for creating things. Just send it through that. In your lower abdomen, down through your pelvic floor, then down to about 3 foot deep into the earth, where your earth chakra resides. It awakens as you connect to it. And your connection to the crystalline grid awakens too. So you come online. And just feel yourself ebbing and flowing with your breath, feeling how on the in-breath you take into your root system, into your feet, all the way up through your body, what you need from the crystalline grid, from the earth as she's ascending. And as you breathe out, you send whatever you don't need, you send it back out to the crystalline grid for everyone who needs to have. This constant exchange, the spander of contraction and expansion. And from this place, just allow the idea of love raining down upon you. God's love, Source's love. Just fill yourself up. And as you do, notice how the outline of your physical body starts to glow. And then becoming aware of all of the layers of your energy body. So just going to name them. You've got your physical body, your pranic body, your emotional, mental bodies, which are 2 different layers of your pain body, your astral body, your divine blueprint template, your celestial body, and your causal bodies. And within all of these bodies, they're all essentially dimensions in themselves. So notice if you can imagine 12 dimensions of beingness. These equate to the 12 rays of Christ consciousness, but even if that's not really your thing, it's this idea that there are at least 12 dimensions of your being, 12 energy layers. And then that outermost layer is what your sphere of compassion encompasses, so what it surrounds. And as you take your awareness right out, feel again as you bring your attention to your sphere of compassion that it starts to glow. And just notice how much it's glowing in relation to your physical body and your core line. Okay, so just repeating after me, knowing that we're going to be doing a lot of work with these outlines through this particular meditation. So just repeating after me, I am the one self I am. I am all that is. I am that I am. I am unity consciousness. I am source consciousness. I am the source of my creations. I am the creator of my reality. I am a multidimensional being of love and light. I am sovereign. I am creator. I am free. I am embodying the wisdom, insight, and guidance of my higher self from my divine design timeline. I am aligning with Earth's ascension timeline. I am surrendering my ego will to divine will. I am choosing to co-create with grace and ease. I am choosing to co-create my personal paradise. I am commanding an axitonial alignment with my divine design timeline. I am that I am. So just allow your breath to deepen. And then know that every statement you have just made is accepted as a truth by your subconscious. So anything that's not aligned with that truth will be revealed. And these are the patterns that we are uprooting today. So now we're going to cleanse our crystals and then we'll get on. So you can repeat after me or just know that I'm speaking on your behalf. I cleanse these crystals to renew their power, so they bring peace and harmony and benefit humankind. I ask that all challenging energy be taken from these crystals to where it can be transmuted into pure love and light. I command that these crystals are filled with the purest vibrations of love and light. I am that I am. And so it is. Beautiful. Okay. So, creating now around you a sphere of compassion. So just allow that sphere to reveal itself. It's always there anyway. I'm having to keep my eyes open so I don't fall asleep. And as you look around that sphere of compassion, the more I'm learning about multidimensional nature, the more I realize how powerful this alchemical container is. Just look at each of the walls of the sphere and the trillions of little spheres that spin on their own axis, shifting the frequency around you to the frequency of compassion. And wherever you are, I invite you to make the sphere as big as your home, okay? And you can imagine it's as big as wherever you are and your home is, or you can just put it around your home and visualize yourself in it at the same time. So we're now going to cleanse this space. I'm going to ask you again to repeat after me. I am cleansing this space with light and loving energy. I am cleansing myself with light and loving energy. I am calling upon my guardian angels and spirit guides of the purest vibrations of love and light to be with me during this meditation. I am calling my divine team to me so they can help me to surrender and accept all of myself and all of my life. I am choosing to release all that is blocking and holding me back from loving myself and accepting what has transpired in my life. I am choosing to surrender. I am choosing to feel free and light within whatever has come my way. I am choosing to feel free in myself and free to be myself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, it's quite an emotional one. I can feel the emotions, so I'm imagining you are too. So as you're surrounded in this compassion, you've stated this intention. I invite you now to create a small replica sphere of this sphere of compassion in front of your face. And now allow yourself to release from your being any and all resistance to the statements you have just made, the release that you have just commanded. And I am inviting you in particular to just imagine that you are pulling a whole pattern of consciousness out of your being that is like a sheath, a contact lens, a filter of distortion that isn't just affecting you, but will be something you will see in those you grew up around. It might be something that you recognize in society at large, or perhaps within your own community or religion, your bigger family or your closer family. This is a pattern like a whole, it's like, I'm seeing it like fascia moving out of the body, a whole layer that's coming through the body, out of the body, that is being cleared from your physical, pranic, emotional, mental bodies, from your astral body, your divine blueprint template, celestial and causal bodies. I'm going to say that properly. I am now commanding a full, complete, an irreversible release. I am now commanding a full, complete, and irreversible release of this pattern of dysfunction that I see, that I am now choosing to be clear of. From my cellular, molecular, atomic memory, from my subatomic memory, from the waves and particles of my quantum field and photon stream, from my physical, pranic, emotional, and mental bodies, from my astral body, from my divine blueprint template, celestial and causal bodies. In all dimensions of my being and all directions of time. And I command this release continues fully until completion. So let your breath be deep. Breathe deeply into your belly. Now, as you release this pattern, it might be a pattern in your relationships. It might be a pattern within your finances. It might be an addiction. It's something that is preventing you from unconditionally loving yourself and others. And it will be whatever has been coming up for you in the last few days that's been really rattling your cage. So just stick to that. You can always do this again, but stick to what's been prevalent. I mentioned anxiety for me. There's anxiety about something happening, something unexpected happening, that's bad, that's difficult. And the compassion I can offer is that I know it's happened in my ancestral lineage. I know why that pattern is there. I know why it's difficult to commit to a decision. I know why one can choose to stuff down how they feel in order to keep others happy. Because one doesn't want to hurt the feelings of others. Because one knows what it feels like to be in pain, in emotional pain. But what one may not recognize is the value of that pain, the value of that lesson in this soul's growth, this soul's evolution. Trying to prevent that pain, because pain is painful, actually serves no one. So letting go of your savior complex, letting go of everyone's savior complex. We can't save anyone from themselves. Neither should we try to. So just for a moment, focus on you. Focus on the pattern you've identified that maybe is so challenging to see in others. And OMG, somewhere within you, it's beautifully hidden. Probably described as something completely different, but it's the same pattern. And let yourself breathe really deeply, and as you breathe out, release that pattern from your being. Use the Ujjayi breath if you know it. That's the soft rasping sound in the throat. Letting go of the expectation that we are responsible for the happiness of others. And just being willing to release, release, release on all levels. This pattern whatever emotions it triggers within you. I mentioned anxiety, but it could be fear, it could be panic, sadness, grief. And feel the lightness that's coming as that sphere now starts to spin. It expands in front of you. It gets as big as it needs to be. And you get lighter and brighter as you release some more and release some more still. So particularly release from your brain, release from your heart, release from your energetic womb space for all genders and non-genders, between the pubic bone and the navel, okay? So for women, it's around the cervix, the womb space, but you know, this is like a soft place that tingles within us all. We get excited or anxious. It's where we conceive our ideas. And of course, they are divinely inspired ideas. So now just seeing that big sphere with all the people in it, the patterns, the people, the feelings. Feelings about oneself, the versions of you that you feel are stuck in the patterns. Now we're going to bring in the frequency, the diamond ray, which will restore everything in there back to 0 point, so back to pure divine consciousness. And this is like a stream of liquid diamonds, okay, shimmering diamonds, super powerful ray, the most powerful ray for clearing patterns. So, you know, if you think of the multifacets of a diamond, this is how we love up all aspects of our being that have been playing out these patterns. So just repeat after me. I am the diamond ray. I am the diamond ray. I am the diamond ray. Bring this ray down through your own body, all the way down into your earth chakra, 3 foot deep into the earth. And then allow the diamond ray into your heart so that it fill up your whole being. And then from your heart, let it pour into the sphere in front of you. And see how it acts like a little tornado, just going through all of that density, all of that pattern. And it's like it's sort of destroying the pattern. It's like repatterning the pattern. It's moving it out of distortion into health, into healing. It's giving it an upgrade. We've called in our guidance, our divine guidance, to unstitch all of the wrong stitches, all of the stitches of deception, delusion, and to restore this pattern to its divine blueprint. So see what's happening in there. See how even the people that are affected by it transform. I mean, you might have people in your sphere, you might not, but you might just see some kind of tapestry. You might see a brain pattern, a brain wave. Whatever you're seeing is the right thing. Pulling this whole pattern out and upgrading it so it becomes this beautiful tapestry of light. And this tapestry of light shimmers and shines. It's the diamond light. It's like we're doing a whole operating system upgrade. You're doing beautifully. So keep allowing that diamond ray to do its work. And you'll know when it's done. So allow the sphere to spin and spin and spin and spin some more. And as it's spinning, and as the diamond ray is doing its work, you're getting to see a glimpse of your eternal self. You're getting a chance to follow the thread of your eternal being, your relationship to Source. How you see what is in front of you transform. How it feels different. Just allowing it to complete. And just seeing joy. So if you have got people in your sphere, as you see the pattern shifting within that sphere, however you're seeing it shifting, seeing how it shifts these beings too, these people too. The circumstances, and then when you feel ready, we're going to anchor this. So just noticing how that sphere is looking now, because you've got a new frequency pattern to embed into your being. So we do need to step into this sphere and allow this eternal aspect of ourselves to be activated, knowing it will affect everybody as well within our families, within our communities, within our cultures and religion, on a very subtle level for some, more prevalent, more obvious for others. So when you're ready, let's just anchor this quickly. Seeing the patterns of perfection restored. Just repeat after me. Anchor, lock and seal. Recalibrate and align. Balance and harmonize. For graceful, gentle, and easy integration, expression, and manifestation. Beautiful. And so it is, and so it shall be. So looking at that now, looking at that sphere, getting ready to step into it, to receive this upgraded divine tapestry. When you're ready, allow your heart to build a golden bridge from you, where you are now, into that sphere, and bring that sphere to you. Step into it. Oh, well done. As you step into it, just allow that new pattern to imprint itself within you. It moves through your physical body, your pranic body, emotional and mental body, into your astral body, your divine blueprint template, celestial and causal body. So this new divine blueprint pattern has been restored to its original form, its intention of pure love, pure unconditional love. And as you accept it back into you, into your cellular, molecular, atomic, subatomic memory, the waves and particles of the quantum field and photon stream, it allows whatever patterns of dysfunction used to be there to be replaced by patterns of perfection, divine perfection. And how this will be revealed for you. will be something that I'll enjoy hearing about between now and the next new moon and full moon meditations. So if this was a pattern to do with your relationships, see how the relationships that you have change. If it's patterns of perception, see how your perception has shifted. Pattern at work or in your personal habits, addictions, whatever it is that you wanted to shift. Just allow yourself to know that you have created a whole new connection here, a whole new pattern in all dimensions of your being. So this is your eternal self. This is what you've just done. You've just upgraded the ego programming to your divine self, your divine design programming. So let's just align again with our divine design. I am commanding an axitonial alignment with my divine design timeline. I am commanding an axitonial alignment with my divine design timeline. I am that I am. I am now commanding this process continues until completion. Anchor, anchor, anchor. Recalibrate, align. Balance and harmonize. For graceful, gentle, and easy integration. Great work. So just let yourself receive this unconditional love that is your divine design blueprint. Just allow yourself to receive this unconditional love. You've just cleared everything that was distorting your ability to receive the unconditional love that's within you. So bathe in your own glow. Wrap this new pattern around you. Let it embed within you. Let yourself shine like a diamond. And allow that pattern to expand within the whole of the sphere of compassion that surrounds you. So almost do a sweep through. If you remember the original sphere of compassion I asked you to create around the whole of your house. Just imagine now that this new pattern, this new divine design frequency, 0 point clearing that happened and then reintegrating to your own personal blueprint. Just allow it to filter through your whole sphere. And when you're ready, very, very gently, start to breathe yourself back. And as you start to breathe yourself back, remember to become aware of your connection to your earth chakra, breathing in and out through the soles of your feet. Breathing in and out through the crown of your head. Bringing yourself back gently, sweetly. And as you come back, just allowing yourself to gently yawn your body awake. Remember that your crystals have got all of that lovely energy flowing through. Thank you for staying with me. I know it's been a long one, they're usually an hour, but that will have been a very nice and deep activation and clearing. So I look forward to hearing from you and hearing how things have shifted, particularly in the next 24 to 48 hours. There should be some nice big shifts in consciousness, and until the new moon as well. So consider what new patterns you want to, what you want the new patterns to instigate in your life for you, for the seed of the new moon when that comes through. And as I mentioned to you before, anybody who would like to communicate with me about doing some coaching work, joining one of my group coaching or one-to-one coaching programs, or even my membership program, there is a sort of minimum requirement for that, but you can talk to me and find out what that is. I will be delighted to chat with you. So you can book a free breakthrough call with me this week. There'll be a link. So that link will be valid for a week. And if you book your breakthrough call, it will be free, whereas normally it's £100. So just remember, I am fully booked for the next month or so. So this will be to be starting in June, and that is when the membership starts as well. So do get in there. And of course, this is your opportunity, if you enjoy these meditations, to go along to YouTube and subscribe to my RozyGlow channel, like my RozyGlow Facebook page, and join my website for all of the updates and all of the replays to be sent directly to you. I think if you have joined the site before, please look out for emails, because there's new data protection rules coming through, which means you get to pick and choose what information you get. I hope you'll just tick all of it, because there's so much I like to gift you, but obviously I need to get it through to you. So just open your heart to receive. All right. Loads of love from me. I'm wishing you a beautiful day and just a nice calming of these energies. And really, you know, we've done a lot with the sphere of compassion today. So just keep feeding that outer sphere with love, the moonlight and the sunlight. And that's the sun and the moon energy will really activate and strengthen your outer field. Of course, a nice strong yoga practice with good core line focus will help you as well. I'm going to leave it there. Wishing you the best. Have a beautiful couple of weeks until I see you again. And just bear in mind that I think probably from next month, we're just going to be doing the new moon meditations as the freebies. We'll see how we go. It depends as I'm getting busier. That I think the full moon meditations, because they go a bit deeper, will be for the membership. So it's a great opportunity to join. At the moment, for those of you who want to join, it's £49 a month, and we'll be meeting twice a month online to work deeply with what is coming up. Okay, so I am wishing you loads of love. Look forward to hearing from you. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.